Schumann to step down. Biden asked to investigate discrimination claims in Guyana. And Exxon rakes in US $19.7 billion. Hi, I'm Enrico Pulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Lennox Schumann, the Deputy Speaker of the House, will be replaced as a member of the National Assembly in the coming months as part of a prior agreement to rotate the seat from a joiner list of political parties that ran in the 2020 elections. Schumann is also the leader of the Liberty and Justice Party, one of the new parties that ran in the elections, along with a new and united Guyana and the New Movement. According to the newsroom, Schumann will relinquish his position by February of next year. While talks between the parties are still underway, Dr. Asha Kassoon, the head of the New Movement, has been projected to be the successor. However, she will not be appointed as Deputy Speaker automatically. There will likely be new elections among members of Parliament for a Deputy Speaker when both the governing and opposition parties are likely to field nominees of their own. In other elections news, GCOM has designated December 12th as nomination day for the upcoming local government elections. GCOM announced the nomination day date in a notice that also called for parties to submit their symbols. On nomination day, parties make their way to a designated location where their representatives are usually required to submit their list of candidates to the chief election officer, as well as sign on the required documents, such as a code of conduct to contest the elections. From October 25th to the 28th, the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown hosted a Department of Commerce Trade in the Americas delegation consisting of 5 firms across the United States. While in Guyana, the companies held meetings with local private sector contacts to discuss Guyana's business environment, foster partnerships, and develop closer trade ties between Guyana and the U.S. With bilateral trade reaching $1.4 billion in the first half of this year alone, American investment in Guyana is steadily increasing. One family was left confused and distraught following the death of 39-year-old mother of 5, Navita Mirage. Mirage had reportedly died while in labor at the Georgetown Public Hospital on Saturday morning. Philip James, her common-law spouse, informed Kaito News that she and their unborn daughter had perished. After getting contradicting information concerning his wife's death, James got skeptical and is now looking for answers. He hopes that an investigation will be initiated to get to the bottom of this. Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig apparently left the CDC earlier this year to take up a job as the Deputy Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, or CDEMA, with effect from January 3, 2023. The announcement was made yesterday by the chairman of the agency. A Guyanese man who was part of a group of tourists visiting Orunduk Falls on Sunday is now assumed to be dead according to reports. He was identified as Gladstone Hayes. At the conclusion of Sunday's tour, it was discovered that one passenger had gone missing. His body is yet to be recovered. A search and rescue recovery effort is presently underway. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, Marine Patrol, Canine Services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire their best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth mount rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $9.95 million. All pay as low as $1.99 million down with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info. Or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Pretty Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Enrico sent you for this sweet deal. Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, wants to publicly request that the Department of Justice and the Biden administration investigate charges of discrimination in Guyana. James said on Friday evening in New York at a town hall gathering hosted by the Guyana Caribbean Institute for Democracy.
If any harm comes to Rickford Burke or anyone on this dais or anyone in this room, there'll have to be answers. We will immediately demand answers, and I can tell you that someone will be held accountable for those actions. And whether you're in the White House or the State House means nothing to me. I fear no one other than my God.
James stated that racism and prejudice will never be accepted by the U.S. government, which I don't know if is either a lie or a really good joke, but whatever. She stated that after listening to Guyanese concerns voiced in the meeting, enough has been spoken to warrant intervention by higher authorities. The hearing heard allegations of government censorship of its critics, which is true, information suppression, which is true, threats to opposition members and sympathizers, which is true, and the politicization of the Guyana police force. That's also true. She stated that the allegations are significant problems that must not be ignored or allowed to continue. Also in the diaspora, the shooting murder of Guyanese Rayon Shepherd is being investigated by police in Essex County, New Jersey. According to Newark police, the incident occurred on Thursday night in Newark's West Wall. The reason for the killing has yet to be revealed, although detectives are claimed to be following many leads. The police are looking for a male suspect who has not been identified to the public as of yet. Today, 50-year-old Radha Sukwa was committed to stand trial for manslaughter for fatally shooting her 73-year-old partner. Sukwa was accused of killing 73-year-old Doronarine, alias Russian, on August 3, 2018, near Grant Lower Pomeroon River. Sukwa is presently out on $400,000 bail. The IDB is now planning a US $37 million loan to promote education recovery and transformation through particular programs aimed at increasing learning in the hinterland regions of Guyana. The loan has three components. The first component will focus on accelerated learning, whilst the second portion of the loan will aid in digital transformation by allowing students and instructors to acquire laptops, tablets, and other electronic gadgets. The loan's third component will fund infrastructure enhancements for schools. Now for news in the region. Guyana's president on Sunday evening extended his congratulations to Brazil's new president, Luiz Ignacio Lula da Silva. Lula da Silva is back in the presidency after he won 50.8% of all valid votes, while incumbent Jair Bolsonaro received nearly 49.2% of votes. Sunday's election was the closest in over 3 decades, with a narrow victory for Lula. BBC reported that there are just over 2.1 million votes separating the two candidates, with 99.99% of votes counted. In 2018, Bolsonaro led with over 10 million votes more than Workers' Party's candidate Fernando Haddad. Now for today's oil update. ExxonMobil has reported third quarter 2022 earnings of US $19.7 billion, citing increasing production from its assets in Guyana, which has surged to 360,000 barrels per day and above design capacity, as one of the drivers in its large profitability for the previous quarter. Higher quantities of oil from its properties in Guyana and the Permian Basin in the U.S., according to the company's third quarter results report, were among the reasons that contributed to the company's profitability. It stated that in the Permian Basin, its assets supplied 560,000 barrels of oil per day, an increase of nearly 50,000 barrels. However, the starboard block averaged approximately 360,000 barrels of oil per day. Attention truck owners, if you're not shopping at Powered Automotive, you're wasting your money. Powered Automotive has all the major parts for all model of DAF, Freightliner, Mach, International, and more. No need to knock your belly here. They have all the parts you need at prices you can afford. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles or call or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. On Friday, I asked about domestic violence and what we can do to stamp it out. Guy Bryan says we must first stamp out lying and dishonest behavior. 2. Limit the sale of alcohol to any one person. And 3. Cleanse every high office of corrupt individuals, and the list goes on. Pluck out the bad weeds and grow good grass. Indeed, I agree. Scorpio Kid says that's a difficult task because approximately 50% of abusers were abused at some point in their lives and 30% were exposed to it very early in life. So it has a negative effect on them. For the other 20%, I'm not sure. Yes, and those are some sad numbers indeed. RC View Farm recommends that the ministry implement a peer education program for middle school and secondary school students to teach them conflict resolution and anger management. Children who are abused are likely to become abusers and pass on the behaviors. If we can break the cycle early, we can save a lot of lives. Amen. Amen. I agree with that 100%. And finally, Tao Seti says they can encourage persons to take time to know a potential romantic partner and even their family before entering a relationship. That way they can spot potential red flags and call it quits if need be, hence preventing potential abuse. I do agree that a certain level of patience and education needs to be instilled in our children. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the New York Attorney General asking the Biden administration to probe claims of discrimination in Guyana? Do you think anything will, even actually come of it? Or will it just be a flop? I really want to hear from you all on this. So, think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.